So the college that I attend has all of its assignments due on a weekly basis. I get assigned new work every week, and I have to turn it in by the end. And it's created this cycle that I am now representing in a mixtape form because my English teacher told me to do it. The cycle begins right where it ended. I've just finished all my work for last week, and right now I've got nothing to worry about. Sure, the week has just started and it comes with a new set of assignments to do, but I've got until Sunday to finish it. I've just worked myself to the bone on last week's work, so right now I'm just going to sit down and relax. This is Ice Cream Man by Gifted But Twisted. I first heard this song in an old Adobe Flash web browser game I used to play called Punk-O-Matic. Back in the day, all I would ever do was play Flash games, day in and day out. I have tons of warm, nostalgic memories of goofing off in the school computer lab and playing Flash games with my friends. They take me back to a time when nothing really mattered. School was a joke, I had no job, and nothing ever seemed to stress me out like it does now. The song just perfectly puts me back in that headspace of nothing mattering except right here, right now. There's of course the old memories it brings that puts me there, but the song itself really sells that idea. Because the artist didn't care. The song is about an ice cream truck driver going postal, shoving ice cream scoops up rectums. These guys had no shame, so why should I? I don't really know how to explain it, but punk rock just brings me peace. It creates this calming and de-stressing sense of just, yeah. Stage 2 of the cycle always creeps up on me. The whole time I feel like I'm still in stage 1, but somewhere along the way the relaxation ends and procrastination starts. The song you're hearing right now is Looping Steps by Koji Kondo. It's the song that plays when walking up the infinite staircase in Super Mario 64. It's probably the most iconic use of the shepherd tone in musical history. The shepherd tone is an auditory illusion created by repeatedly playing a rising tone. If you then repeat the tone while the original tone is still playing, then the listener will only ever experience the sensation of a rising tone, giving the impression that the tone keeps rising forever and ever. In this stage, I'm in a constant battle against myself. I put myself in a false sense of security. It seems like every step that I take to save myself is really getting me nowhere. It's like my productivity is that tone. I'm constantly trying to rise from my chair and get to work, and it feels like I am, but it's always a big fat lie that I keep telling myself. I'll work for 2 minutes and end up distracted by the tiniest thing and waste hours of my time all over again. Do you have any idea how far away you are from the top? You keep doing this to yourself, man. Every week is like this. You always tell yourself, this is it, man. This week's gonna be different. I'm gonna stay on top of it all, and you never do. What have you even been doing this whole time? If you can't do schoolwork, then you could be doing so many other productive things. Your mom is falling apart with the stress of keeping this house clean, and John has been waiting on you to work on your game project for months. You're an idiot. Every week you keep letting this happen. You're an incompetent waste case who can't even climb up a staircase. All you ever want to do is waste your time and waste everyone else's time. You can't. I wish I knew what it was that always frees me from this cage. Then I could use it earlier and make the most of the time that I'm given. Maybe it's the desire to escape from my own self-hatred that sets me free. Or maybe at some point even the procrastination itself gets boring and I want something more. Or maybe it's the fact that, holy crap, it's already Friday. I've wasted 4 days doing absolutely nothing. I gotta get to work. I gotta go. Okay, 4 days. I have 4 days to do all of my schoolwork. Computer science is an easy class. I can do that in an afternoon. Same with orientation to STEM, film appreciation. Pre-calc might take me a bit, but I'm good at math. I'll manage that. Composition. I've never had a good track record with English classes, especially writing. I hate researching information. I can never seem to reach the page requirement, and I never seem to care about any of the topics. Out of every other subject, this is the one most likely to push me back down that godforsaken staircase all over again. Every other assignment has taken up all my time, and that writing assignment is due today. if I'm going to manage this, what I desperately need is something to fill in the silence and help me zone in. I need some tunes. But I know that if I listen to anything new, I'll have to stop to properly listen to it. If it has lyrics, then I'll get distracted trying to hear the words. And if it's an album, it'll end before I'm done, and I'll spend far too long picking out a new one. I need a singular song that I can just loop forever and never get tired of. This is Pixels of Glory by Fridge Bits. I first heard it in a Smash Brothers mod called Project Plus. I like this song a lot. It helps me focus. And because it was designed to loop, I can play the song on repeat over and over and forget how much time is passing, which is a big get when you're doing all this schoolwork at once. Now, crunching isn't a good thing, but I still feel like I sort of excel in it, relatively speaking. If I get in just the right environment of loopy tunes, a clear direction, and a fire under my butt to keep me moving, I can crank out work crazy fast, and before I even know it, I'm already done. Tim Fallon is an interesting guy. Back in the 80s, he was a computer programmer and musician. One might think that these two skills would have no overlap, and in the modern day that's kind of true, but back in the day, music that was played on computers had to be composed, designed, and implemented with very specific hardware in mind. You couldn't just stream the music off of a CD or something. To make music on a computer meant programming on a computer. It was in this environment that Tim made his most iconic works, especially when he was working under Software Creations. Software Creations was once a game development company known for porting arcade games to home computers, where Tim would often recreate the original soundtrack on the new hardware. But eventually, Software Creations branched out into original games. These games weren't good. Like many other fledgling game studios of the era, Software Creations would make subpar games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Typically, these kinds of games would be completely forgotten in the sands of time, holding a legacy of nothing more than an episode of The Angry Video Game Nerd. But Tim's games were different. This is Pictionary title theme. Tim would always try his best to outdo himself with each game he worked on, pushing the limits of not just NES hardware, but himself as well. Despite the crunch time his employers put him through, and despite the quality of the games his songs would wind up in, every song Tim made for the NES is an absolute masterpiece. Like, some brain-dead fat cat at Software Creations thought it was a good idea to convert a pen and paper game into a video game controlled with this. And Tim's reaction is, yeah, I'll make one of the greatest songs to ever come out of the NES for the video game adaptation of Pictionary. Okay, this isn't in the mixtape, but I'm gonna have you listen to the first level theme in Silver Surfer. Like, this is real! This is a real song that came out of real hardware that was put in a real game. On the actual NES. Listen! Now, I'm not Tim Fallon. When I finish an English essay, it's never as impressive as these songs, and I'm not put under the same amount of pressure that he was. But for me, Tim's work will always represent triumph over the odds, and every week, right before that midnight toll on Sunday night, I triumph. If we're talking about every other week this semester, then this is the part where the cycle repeats itself. I crawl back into my little false security box and keep procrastinating until I crunch again. But the past is over, and the future is right now. It doesn't have to keep repeating. It's not like I'm doomed forever. I'm not Sisyphus. There's a whole new semester coming soon, and I wanted a break to get all the procrastination out of my system. So, yeah, I think I'll be good. I can probably break free. Yeah. Whoa, crazy! No way! You found the secret stage 420 of my process. It's not a process; it's a cycle, a very vicious, terrible cycle that I hope to one day rid myself of. But yeah, you've reached it. You found stage 420 at the very end, man. Wow, good on you. This stage is all about how I realized that every single song in this entire album, mixtape, whatever you call it, is all from a video game. And I go outside and touch grass. Yeah. Anyways, here's the song that represents stage 420.